Fewer women artists, but more naked males. Is that progress? In the mid-1990s, the buzzword in the art world had become multiculturalism. Art institutions everywhere were playing catch-up, showing women and artists of color. But instead of showing the great diversity of women and artists of color, what we realized is that most museums were showing the same few women artists and the same few artists of color over and over and over again. So we decided to do a campaign about tokenism and to ask the question, is tokenism a solution or a continuation of the problem of exclusion? So this is what we did. The top 10 signs that you're an art world token. Every one of these circumstances happened to a member of our group. Your busiest months are February, Black History Month, March, Women's History Month, April, Asian American Awareness, June, Stonewall Anniversary, and September, Latino Heritage. At parties and openings, the only other people of color are serving the drinks. Whenever you open your mouth, it's assumed you speak for your people and not for yourself. At parties, people always end up telling you their interracial and gay sexual fantasies. And finally, a curator who never gave you the time of day before calls you right after a Guerrilla Girl demonstration. Now, recently, we've been busier than ever, but to be honest, we're faced with a huge dilemma. What do you do when the system you've spent your whole life attacking suddenly embraces you? In 2005, we were asked to do a large-scale installation at the Venice Biennale, one of the major international art festivals. And in the last couple of years, our works have been seen at major museums all over the world. So what's a girl activist to do? Well, we agonize over every invitation. We argue, we shout, we cry, we go hormonal. But in general, we make the decision to participate in as many exhibitions and appearances at museums because we want our message to get out to the largest audience possible. And also, I have to tell you what a thrill it is to criticize a museum right inside the museum when it's very well. So, here's what we did in Venice. We did an installation of 6 17-foot-high posters that were the very first thing that viewers saw when they entered the Arsenale. First, we took on the Biennale itself. We wanted to document 110 years of discrimination. But we also wanted to declare it the first feminist Biennale. That's what it says in Italian. Benvenute alla Biennale Femminista. Why? Because it was the first time in the history of the Biennale that 2 women were appointed directors of the exhibition. And surprise, it had the highest number of women artists ever. So continuing, we also did a project to take on the historic museums of Venice. Because we discovered that every historic museum in Venice, except one, did have work by women in the collection. But most of the work, instead of hanging in the galleries, was kept in the basement. So we did this poster where we appropriated this iconic image of Marcello Mastroianni straddling his girlfriend, Anita Ekberg, in the famous Fellini film La Dolce Vita. And then we asked the question, where are the women artists of Venice? Underneath the men. Then we had lots of statistics at the bottom about the situation in each museum, and we demanded that viewers go to the directors of the museums of Venice and demand that they want to see more women on top.